And we're live. Thank you so much, Jas, for joining us. We are now live streaming with Jasmuheen, the founder of the Embassy of Peace and the president of the Global Congress for Spiritual Scientists, and one of my beloved friends and teachers. Hello, Jas, and thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Cristiana. It's a wonderful job that you're doing. It's wonderful to be here.
Well, we're starting with I guess, the most important question of all. We know that you kind of founded the Pranic movement all over the world. So all the people we've interviewed so far are telling us that they all heard of it from your book, Living on Light, from your books actually. And we want to know, how did you start with this? So what led you to this path on your life?
It's interesting because, as many people know, I'm doing a lot of work as a cultural exchange ambassador now in China. And my contact there wanted to know the same thing. And I just sent her my Breatharian Pathways book. And before I did that, I started to read it. And it was so interesting because it's all about memories and motivations. And I guess if we were talking metaphysically, you'd say, when did it start? Thousands of years ago. You know, you have lifetime after lifetime of different experiences that imprint you and affect you so deeply. And I talk a lot about it in that book. And I think the most interesting thing for me in this journey, this life, is it never interested me. I read Yogananda's autobiography of a yogi, and I'd heard about Giri Bala, but not one part of me, when I read that, went, "Oh, that's interesting. I'd like that." And they often say that sometimes the greatest gifts come to those who aren't seeking them. So this whole initiation that I went through in 1993, a spiritual initiation, this was just a natural byproduct. And that's what we've always shared with people, that when you go back to your true nature, when you just relax back to the truth of who you really are, you end up satiated, imbued with this energy that's just impossible to be hungry in. You just cannot have physical hunger. You cannot have emotional hunger. You cannot have mental hunger. And your spiritual hunger just disappears. You're just like, oh my God, I didn't know this existed. And the path of the yogi reveals this exists. You know, what Jesus said is the kingdom of heaven, or Buddha calls the Pure Land, this essence ocean that's just part of us. You know, everyone's being nourished by prana. You just have these waves, this energy just flowing through you and depositing into your cellular structure, every protein and vitamin and mineral and everything you need. But we've become disassociated from that reality in the Western world because we're not taught about it. So here we have a 6,000-year-old tradition that the Qigong masters understand in China. And to them, it's like, yeah, we know about Bigu. Yeah, fed by Qi. Everybody knows about this. And then India, 4,000-year tradition where everyone goes, yeah, our yogis have done this. And then the West, which was my job, my divine blueprint, you could say, was to just bring this ancient understanding in the West. And I understood nothing about it in the beginning. All I knew was that's what was happening to my system, quite unexpectedly, and definitely not sought.
Fabulous. So it was just you might say, a gift from the divine. And when you started the process, it was the 21-day process, or was it another initiation that brought you to this?
No, I've lived the life of a yogi since I was about 4 years old. And, I believe in quantum intelligence. So I think when you have questions, if the answers are beneficial for human evolution and for your evolution, then those answers come. And I had a European mother, European background, European upbringing. I'm a first generation Australian. And I remember my mother used to get so cranky with me because I wouldn't eat meat and I wouldn't eat my lunch or dinner if it was meat, too much meat. And we'd fight. And she would say, look, you should be grateful. There's all these children in the world who don't have food. And I used to think, what? They're starving children. And I just couldn't wrap my head around it. It didn't make sense to me. So I remember being in church at about 7 and just saying, look, surely there is an energy that we can access that can take away all human hunger, or at least change the awareness so that we make sure the children of the world have food and shelter and clothing and education and everything they need. And that was my headspace. So I think when you're carrying that sort of reality, quantum intelligence will make sure you get an answer. And so I ended up getting caught up in this whole 21-day process thing. I heard about it, that it was happening in Australia, and I went along and looked at it and thought, a bit strange the way it was being presented and the people involved, because I'd come from a slightly different background and it had a slightly Christian presentation, even though I have had exposure to those teachings too. And but I was doing more of an Eastern understanding, you know, living as a yogi, a vegetarian life and all of this. And it just worked for me. I just felt in my heart this call, this strong intuitive knowing that this was for me. And while there was a dozen other people around that time involved in this, I was the one that it stuck with. And it was easy for me. And it was easy for me because I'd already had 22 years of meditation and 20 odd years more of a yogi path and a whole lifetime of the compassionate heart. You know, and I think the compassionate heart and this way of living so that you're in the channel of presence, you know, you're just exposed to presence, and presence is love, and presence is wisdom, and presence is introduces higher fields of potential and possibility, and it gives you all the answers to all the problems in the world when you're still and you're silent and you're open and you want to operate in a way that's beneficial for humanity, and you want to be in this world in a way that's a nourishing presence. And when you have that heart call, grace comes, you know? So, yeah, what can I say? Interesting beginning that was like, now what? And then suddenly I'm in the presence of the Holy Ones who goes, it's time to take this out into the world. And me going, no. So I was very much the reluctant one. But, you know, it was interesting. It was
So
interesting.
did you feel worried ever about your process? Did you feel, you know, uncomfortable with this mission, or you just felt, well, this is what I have to do, I will do it no matter what? How was it for your heart? How did it feel at the beginning? Because no one was talking about this path.
No. I was emotionally blackmailed. You know, my brother died when I was 14. He was killed in a car accident. He was 18 years old, and I always felt his presence with me. We were super close. We were, you know, we loved each other dearly. And my mother felt him around us a lot too. And I realized that my mother was a sensitive, that I was a sensitive as well. And that I found out later that we came from a line of sensitives, women healers, women with that tradition of being able to read futures, all sorts of things, clairvoyance, clairaudience, that's strong in our family line. But it became much, much stronger when I was 18 or 17 and started meditating. I could hear so much telepathically, and I used to find dead people around me all the time, talking to them. And so when I started communion with biblical figures in 1987, I started to talk to Elijah and Enoch and Elias, and they would come in my meditations. And then, you know, when you're meditating and you get this telepathic imprint, it's like, oh, hello, who are you? What do you want? You know, and messages would come and you'd apply the guidance and your life would change and you go, whoa, good guidance. Thank you. Needed that. So when I had been living on prana for a few months quite successfully, but finding people's reactions difficult because people were angry. They were like, you never eat. Why aren't you ever eating? And I'd say, well, I don't need physical food. I'm being nourished by prana. And they go, that's impossible. So I got concern from family, concern from community, concern from friends. And then one day, one of these holy beings just manifested in my meditation in a cloud or a vortex of violet light, and this feeling like the circus has come to town. And I know that energy is Saint Germain, the master of alchemy. And he just said, we have a mission for you. And it was like, okay. He said, you have to choose now the path of service or the path of self-mastery, because at that time I was spending a lot of time in meditation, in my yogi cave. I would techniques of dematerialization and rematerialization, which was fun, but I hadn't mastered at all. And he just came in this vortex, and I said, okay, well, I'll choose the path of service. He said, okay, we have a mission for you. We want you to take on board the global media and bring this knowledge of what you're doing out into the West, you know? And I just went, no way. No, it isn't going to happen. I don't want to take on board the media. You know, they'll just think I'm crazy. And I don't have that skill set. And he just said, okay, well, just one question. Could you live with yourself morally, knowing that every second a child dies of hunger-related diseases, and you have a potential solution for this, but you're going to keep it to yourself? What do you say to that? That was my emotional blackmail. So I went, okay, well, if this is true, if this is real, then you guys have got to be with me every step of the way and set it up and just bring me nice journalists. And I got really, really nice journalists. But when the articles went back to, and the filming went back to editing, that's when the editors went crazy and they changed it all and did crazy, crazy stuff. But, you know, I always felt supported. I always felt so much love and so much grace. And when I was feeling challenged, I'd get these telepathic messages, and Saint Germain would come in and he'd say, don't worry, 20 years, it's going to be much better. You wait and see, it'll be normal. And I remember crying one night in my hotel room in Berlin after talking to a large group, you know, 500, 1,000 people, I can't remember, and feeling how challenged they were by this reality. And I was crying, and Saint Germain said, look, it's okay. It's going to be, you know, 20 years. It's going to be so different. Now it's 20 years and it's different. And, you know, naivety can be our saving grace. You know, if you're not, you know, people say to me, oh, Jasmuheen's a fraud and she's doing it for this or that or the other. And I think, Jesus, if I was going to defraud people, I'd pick a different topic, a different way. This has just been, is it my mission from a pre-birth plan? Yeah, obviously. Have I been trained in this in other lifetimes? Yes. Were the seeds planted over 2,000 years ago when I spent time with the Christ? Yes. Did I become a breatharian in India many lifetimes ago? Yes. Was it an easy path, any of it? No. But is it beneficial for humankind? Oh, yes.
Totally, yes.
Oh my God, is it an incredible freedom to no longer have any hunger? Oh, yes. To have no mental hunger, to have no emotional hunger, to have no spiritual hunger, to feel so whole, to feel so complete, to feel so in love with every moment of this existence, because we can see life through the eyes of our pure nature, and we can see Earth and her people for the perfection they are and the paradise that this world is, you know?
Yes. Yes, and we trust this more and more, and we are very grateful for your gift in this world, because we know and we feel there have been some emotional challenges, and we were wondering how have you been able to deal with that, with all that emotional, you know, luggage that came from people who distrusted this reality. What was the technique? Because many of us and many of the ones teaching this now are maybe confronted with this on some level. And maybe you
Yeah.
have a tool.
You know what I remember is the forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. In my darkest times, the most challenging times, these words would come to me, and I know they're straight from the Christ. And it's like, I have no problem with any of that, because I know that ignorance breeds fear and education eliminates fear. And so to me, it's always, okay, girl, me, you got to learn to educate better. Obviously, what you're presenting and how you're presenting it to the world is just not good enough. They're not getting it. You're not clear enough. You're not consistent enough. You're not presenting it in the words that matter, or something's not quite right. So I can always refine myself. I can always be a better version of myself. I have the power of prayer. I have the power to say, help. Give me the strength to deal with this. Give me the energy to reformat it so that I can present this to the world in a way that more and more people understand. And we used to get so much negativity at different times, and we don't anymore. You know, we get a lot of love and support. And every time I felt like overwhelmed by it sometimes because I'd received some hate mail, very soon after I'd get love mail. There are people all around the world, and they just were tuned in and sensitive and telepathic, and they'd go, yep, I'm going to just send Jazz an email, and I'm going to tell her how much I love her and how much I appreciate her and how valuable her books were and how much they changed my life. And sure enough, after the hate mail would come the love mail. It'd be like, yay, thank you, you know. But you can't do what you do for ego or glory. You just do it because it's the right thing to do. You do it because your heart is calling. And I see, I see, I see this world that is so glorious, a world with happy, healthy children who get enough food, you know, 3 meals a day if they need 3 meals a day. I see people loving each other and kind and compassionate and respectful, because I come from the unified realms and I can see unity, the field of unity here. And it's the potential for unity, and paradise is here. And everything that our hearts desire is here. It's a zone, it's a frequency zone. And all you got to do is click, click, tune, you know? And so we've developed a fabulous lifestyle, the 8-point Luscious Lifestyle Program. And that just tunes people back to their true nature so they can experience the zone of perfection that's also on the earth, along with the zone of fear and ignorance and duality and judgment and chaos. I don't live in that zone, and this is our advice. Don't live there. Anchor yourself in the zone of oneness. Anchor yourself in the zone of unity. Be a living example. Be your bodhisattva nature. Be essence fully descended. Descend fully as pure essence beingness in this temple. And when you allow for the ascension consciousness to bring you fully back to descension, then your body system really is the temple that is free from so many limitations. And you see with eyes of compassion. And everyone who is hateful and everyone who is judgmental in those ways, they just need love. They just need patience. They just need compassion. They just need, yeah, just like, okay, I'll just deliver it differently. We'll just, you know, find the right way. And we still are. You know, I've written 38 books in 19 languages and 7 on this topic. And I'm now writing a new one that is on, I'm writing 2, one on pranic people, because I think there needs to be better definitions about pranic people. I don't like the word breatharian. It's too limited. Like, I eat all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but I eat differently. And that was one of our early learnings. People keep thinking we're not eating, but we're eating all the time, but we eat differently. And that's an important part of re-education. So I'm writing a book on what I feel the right definition of a pranic person is, which everyone in this path who experience it will tell you it's about consciousness. It's about fully embracing the purity of that which we already are. It's divine marriage back with that which breathes us. It's ascension to descension. It's allowing the full dominion and dominance of our pure and perfect enlightened nature to fully express itself, live in this temple, and just in that we are transformed.
Beautiful.
So, education.
And refining
and patience and compassion.
Thank you, Jas. And always refining the message we send out, yes, because if it comes from this compassion zone that we are tuning in, then also it has to be adapted to the ones listening somehow.
Yeah. And people, you know, like, I've gone back to countries over a long time. I had 9 years working in Russia, and I've been working in Brazil since about 1998. And I remember going back there one year, and this woman came up to me with shiny eyes and shiny hair and shiny life. And she goes, "Oh, thank you. I'm now a vegetarian. My whole family is a vegetarian. And my mother's so much healthier, my husband's so much healthier, and the children are so much healthier. And oh, since your seminar, I just had to let you know we're now vegetarian." And that was the step she was ready to take. And that was brilliant. And then other people come back to me in Romania when I was there last time. And this man said to me, "Oh, you promote sacred music and as a tool for feeding the emotional body, because all our bodies need to be fed. So I feed my emotional body by listening to sacred music and painting and doing, you know, high-level creativity, just because it's fabulous, you know. When you're reading a good book, when you're painting an amazing picture, you never get hungry. You don't even think about it. You're too busy in creativity land." And so this young man, or middle-aged man, said to me, "You know, from your last seminar, I took your advice, and now I listen to sacred music every night when I go to sleep, and it's changed my sleep. I sleep so deeply. I wake up so refreshed. I have the most amazing dreams. I wake up peaceful. I'm being fed all night by this sacred music. And it's completely changed me and transformed my life. And my wife says I'm a better husband," and all of this stuff, because he's more peaceful, because he's fed himself emotionally all night in a specific way. Take the steps they're ready for. And, you know, we never brought this into the West with this idea of everybody in the world has to stop taking physical food. It was more of, guess what? You have even more choice. You can be a vegetarian, you can be a vegan, you can go raw, you can be a pranic person, you can tune yourself in a way that this infinite essence ocean flows through you so powerfully, instead of just enough to keep you alive, a little breathing you, but it's so strong and so powerful in you that you become free of every human hunger. And there's no words for the state of being. And the pranic people game is a consciousness. It's not a diet, it's a consciousness. It's a marriage back. It's a full infusion, a deeper immersion, a purer infusion of baseline frequencies of creation, you know?
Yes. And and because you brought up the Pranic people definition, we would like to ask, what would be your definition or your acceptance of the Pranic people and Pranic consciousness? What they are to you?
Well, I wrote a very particular definition in my book, which I can't remember because I wrote it ages ago and I'm now in the final chapters. But you know, a pranic person is one who lives deep in unity consciousness. A pranic person is someone who is harmonized on all levels of their being. A pranic person is in balance physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. A pranic person to me is kind, infinitely kind and loving and compassionate, and has that kindness for animals and for humans and for the men who take out our garbage, or you know, the shopkeepers in the street, or you know, or if you're in traffic and there's road rage all around you, you can just be loving. You know, it's like, yeah, okay, they're having a bad day, it's okay. A pranic person lives in the baseline of their core, of their essence. They are essence in form. They have clear communion. They never give their power away to anyone. So they're not looking for the next perfect teacher or the next guru or the next wise one, which I find a lot in China. People are looking for the best monk, the best teacher, the best, highest, most wisdom. And I have to say to them, hang on, sit in silent stillness. It's in you. The greatest teacher you will ever find is the one that breathes you and gives you life. And that means being still and able to sense with these incredible senses, to taste, to hear, to feel, to touch, to feel this amazing pulsation of the true beloved, of so much love. So to me, a pranic person is a person that is just come into that state of divine union and oneness with that which gives them life. And that's their dominant reality. You know, they're not bothered by duality. They can see the games of duality as, hey, it's just a bit of an illusion. It's a bit of a game going down to give us virtues. I love duality. It gives us virtues. It makes us more patient and tolerant and compassionate. And the whole game of feeling we're separate from source, which we aren't, but thinking we are, that whole game is just designed to make us heart rich. You know, duality is about gathering of virtues and getting rich, 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 rich of heart. You know, and so and when we're rich of heart and we're complete and we're whole, we're a pranic person, because prana is a dominant frequency. In India, prana is the God force. In India, it's the divine force. It's a universal life force of infinite love and wisdom and power. And it's the Tao in China, you know, and it's everywhere. We live in its ocean. We're one little cell, and yet we're the ocean. We're everything. You know, and pranic consciousness lets you sense, like, I can walk through the world and I know I have this body, but I can feel the rhythms and the pulsations of the universe, and way beyond. I feel I am vast, multi-dimensional. There's no limit to my beingness, you know, but most of the time I'm focused in this body, being on earth, just loving the paradise of this planet and loving her people and loving every moment and walking around with a heart just so filled with gratitude of this existence, and that this pure source energy can differentiate itself to inhabit these temples. And what a joy it is, because we have temples to experience this energy.
Beautiful. And we have two questions related to what you just said. One is about this vastness, about this pranic expansion that we get when we, as you said, when you walk around and you feel, partly feel your body, but most of it you feel your vastness and your cosmic essence and your expanded nature. How and that's a question for most of our viewers who have experienced that. How do you get back from that vastness to the physical body and then back into the vastness?
Well,
So, yeah.
you just are you are that rhythm. So there's nowhere to go and there's nowhere to get back to because you're everywhere. You know, you're not separate, but you are on earth and you are in a body, and your grounding is your commitment to be here. You know, I'm committed to be on earth. I'm having this amazing experience as a multidimensional being on earth. And this earth, because we have vision, like I am about to go and do 27 days of darkness. So I have 3 groups of people coming for 3 9-day lots, and we don't feed them, and we get rid of all light, and we get rid of every external light, and there's no mobiles and there's no devices, and it's a real deep yogi in a cave experience because it allows us to be more present with presence when we don't have physical vision to make us get caught up in the illusion of this external world, which it's not really an illusion either. It's an amazing movie of reality. But because we have committed to be here, because we've committed to be fully present with presence in every moment, you'll always have that sense of awareness of the grandness, of the benevolence, of the magnificence of creation. That's flowing through you all the time. But you have this a wonderful vision, which we do want, unless we're in dark room. We want inner vision in dark room. And so you do tend to just watch. Like I said, I spend time just in a love affair with my animals, with my cats. Then actually they would tell you I'm theirs, they're not mine, because cats are like that. And we spend time just sitting on the veranda, and I smell Mother Nature, and I'm in a mountain ashram where I live, and the birds are there, and I talk to the birds and they sing, and the breeze is there, and you're so present with the moment, and you're just on everywhere. And as soon as you give your attention to Mother Nature, I'm deep in Mother Nature. As soon as I give my attention to my cats, I'm deep with my cats. As soon as I give my husband my attention and I'm fully present, then I'm fully in being a married woman, you know, having a lot of good loving with my man, you know. When my children are there, I'm fully present with my children, with whatever they need. Although they're, you know, my daughters are 40 and they're all old these days, much older, they don't need much. But we're there as friends, we're there together as companions, we're fully present. But I still have this awareness of all the vastness of everything, but I honor them by being fully present. We honor each other by being fully present. But we're here in a way on earth where we're nourishing. Our presence with a presence is nourishing, because we're not limited anywhere more. We're not human beings who need anything from each other. I don't need anything from my cats, although they give me so much unconditional love. I don't need anything from Mother Nature, although she gives me such beauty and visual pleasure. I don't need anything from a sunset. I don't need, and because I have everything within. So my husband, I can just enjoy him totally for all the gifts he brings, but I don't need anything. But we can have this most amazing exchange of pleasure when we're together, you know. Same with all my grandchildren and with my friends, and you know, everyone in my life. I can just enjoy just for who they are and love them unconditionally, because I don't need anything from them, because I'm a self-complete individual, you know. You're anchored into something that's so pure and so perfect. It's always there. You're in presence, and then you're present in presence with everything you are and everything you do. You know, in the external world, you're in traffic, you're present in traffic. You know, no matter where you are, you're just present in the moment, just present with the breath. Ah, we have this breath. It's so nice. We can breathe. It's so nice. We can, with every breath, you just open to sense this infinite essence that's everywhere. Each breath, it's just pure chi nourishing us. The body just absorbing what it needs. The chi from Mother Nature, the chi from the sun, the chi from all the love in the world, the chi from the infinite essence ocean with all its love. It's everywhere, this chi. So you're just present with presence. Whatever's come into your field, it's come into your field for a reason. So be present. Love it. Enjoy it. Be present.
Yes. So presence and acceptance of everything, and loving and feeling grateful for everything that comes. Yes.
It is, because everything is just, see, when you're nourished by prana, and I mean really nourished, I mean physically nourished, emotionally nourished, mentally nourished, and spiritually nourished. When you've got this ocean, these waves just washing through you constantly, and you're being constantly nourished, you go into a state of absolute freedom. You're just liberated. There's no more suffering. You can, you're in infinite peace. You can be in peace. You can be in joy. You can be in bliss. You can be in any experience you want, because you're so present. There's no time. It's like, oh, bliss. What's that? Okay. And then bliss comes, oh, joy, pure joy. And then joy, as soon as you think it, you're in it. And it's the same like with life on earth. Everything is just movies of reality that meditation gives you the detachment to see as movies of reality. And then you can say, now that's a very interesting movie of reality that person is manifesting. It must be important for them, or they wouldn't manifest it. But no, I don't think I'll step into that one. So you become the observer, and you don't react anymore in life. You act in your own way and time. But I explained it recently in China, because it was like, look, for many people in the world who are not aware of pranic consciousness, they often feel themselves like a leaf on a tree. And right now I'm living in Australia, so massive storms, big climate change, and I should be living in subtropics, but it feels like tropics. Every night, lightning and thunder and rain, and whoa, Mother Nature is delightful. And if I saw myself as a leaf on a tree, then with that sort of weather, which can be a chaotic life, I'm buffeted. I'm like, whoa, ups, downs, highs, low. It's hard. But when I expand consciousness and stop letting my personality self dominate me, because our humanness is lovely, we don't need to change it, we just love it, but it cannot nourish us the way our true nature can nourish us. And when you expand consciousness and become aware of who you really are, and more at one with that which gives us life, you realize you're not just the leaf, but you're the branch. And you're not just the branch, you're the trunk. And you're not just the trunk, but you're the root system. And you're not just the root system and the whole tree and every leaf and every branch, but you're also connected in the roots system to all the other trees in creation. And it's like, whoa. And then you're like, oh, there's no such thing as being alone. There's no such thing as individuality almost. There's in the baseline of creation, all there is just love and peace and light and wisdom and yum and everything we could ever imagine. But we can also then slide out of the roots and back up the trunk and along the branches and into the leaf and go, oh, okay, that's interesting too. But it's not who we really are, we are so much more. And so I always just say to people, look, don't limit yourself. When you're ready, when you're done with playing with duality, when you are ready for the more, then ask to be reset to I essence. Reset me now to I essence. I am pure essence. I exist everywhere, and I exist in this temple, this form. I essence, or I personality. I am Jasmuheen, and I brought pranic nourishment into the West, and it was so hard, and people gave me a hard time, and that's nothing. I essence. Oh, reset now, reset everything, reset all the fields, reset my energy fields for the self-sustaining template in my body of light. Reset now all my energy fields to the template of perfected health. Come on, body. I let go of attachment. Physical structure, I love you as pure I essence I am. I invite you, feed yourself from wherever feels right for you. Take physical food if you want it, but take chi and prana. Go direct from source to source. Feed yourself in whatever way you need, but end result is that this system exists in perfect health and perfect harmony within itself and with all life. Emotional body, feed yourself from wherever you need to feed, but end result, perfect emotional health, harmony within and with all life. Mental body, feed yourself, connect with supreme intelligence, and make sure that however you feed yourself, attain and maintain perfect mental health, and that this system lives in harmony on all levels within itself and with all life. Yes, 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 yes. System locks in. The whole nutritional game changes. Reset now. You can all say it with me, whoever's watching this. Let's reset now to the Pranic People program as promoted by Jasmuheen. I open now for perfect nourishment, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, from pure essence. I am fed from pure essence on all level. I am a pure essence being in form. I claim this now. Let me experience life through the eyes of my enlightened, ascended, pure essence nature. Let me be in this world with love and wisdom and compassion. Let my presence in this world be a nourishing presence for all. And let me be nourished in turn by all.
That's a beautiful programming.
Yeah, it's simple and it works. And then you just go, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And your heart is so filled with gratitude. You don't have to try to be grateful. You don't have to try to be compassionate. You just are. And you walk around this world going, I am so lucky. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed that I have this temple to dwell within and experience Earth and all the layers and zones she has to offer. I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky. And that sets up endless luck within quantum intelligence. Because the more we feel this gratitude and feel this luck, the more quantum just delivers whatever it is that we're feeling and programming and intending. So reset. Let's reset now. Pure I essence. I am I essence in form. I essence, the divine I claim it now. I essence. I have fully descended. I essence is the dominant one within.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is. Yeah.
It's beautiful programming. So programming is one of the most important aspects of maintaining this reality. And whenever we zone out from our divine nature, we go back to it by setting intention.
Just I essence. Anytime you feel that you're a little out of balance, you know, anytime I'm on my iPhone, everybody, it's very weird. Cristiana and I tried to set up on my computer and it wasn't meant to be. So hello, iPhone, bit jiggly. Look, anytime you're feeling a bit as if you're in energy flows that are fine, but I don't know, there's more, just claim the I essence. You know, it's like reset, I essence. I love the reset program. It's like reset me now. And you are part of infinite intelligence. You're a cell in this supreme mind. You're a cell in this supreme body of so much love. So just say, okay, reset. little out of duality, please, and back to true nature. Reset me to my true nature. Reset I essence now. Reset me to the perfect channels of nourishment for me. Reset me to the true love program. You know, reset me to the field of the true beloved, which is the Christed consciousness, the Buddha Maitreya energy that's coming in. Just reset me to the right family harmonic now. And this is like the reset is you're working with this infinite intelligence that is always within us and around us and is us at our core. So your human personality, when you're feeling a bit too caught up in that, it's just, come on, need a reset. Reset my health, reset, you know, nourishment, reset relationships, reset. I'm just open for this reset now. And in my new program that we're working on, we're doing a book with meditations, and, you know, we'll take people through this reset program in a different way, but simple. You know, this resetting to I essence, it doesn't interfere with people's religious beliefs. You know, you can be a yogini, you can be a yogi, you can be a monk, you can be a priest, you can be a general person out in the street who just is intuitively feeling that you want to be more permanently anchored in the river of peace and harmony and health and happiness. And it's like, okay, reset me back to those channels. You know, I'm open, guide me. You know, you get dreamtime guidance, you sit in silence and stillness in meditation, and you suddenly get clarity. Oh, okay, I want more harmony, I want better health, I want more happiness, I want a more consistent flow of joy and ease and grace. All right, I've got to attend to this, because this infinite intelligence works with us all the time, guides us, gives us insight. You know, perfect teacher.
And perfect interview with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So I would like to take a moment, and I'd like to say thank you to Cristiana. And, you know I wanted to do a little interview with her and ask her, you know, things like, what prompted you now to put this Pranic summit together?
Should I answer now?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Why not? Well, it was like this. I'm also a meditator, so I had no idea I had to do this. But these interview suggestions came to me from time to time, and they came, and I didn't really know how I should manifest anything with some interviews. But then I was seeing people that were looking for answers still on the pranic journey or on their individual life whatsoever. People who had challenges, so had undergone various processes and have, you know, the 21-day process or other processes, and still didn't feel they got this gift, and they were really, really looking for it. Yeah. And people who were really wanting to be in their pranic consciousness essence, but then they often zoned out of it, and they were feeling maybe guilty for eating or guilty for manifesting humanness in any way. So at some point, one morning, I was meditating, and everything came clear to me. So it suddenly came clear, like in 5 minutes, that I can do these interviews, and that I can gather together all the fabulous people that I came in contact with, because this wasn't just for me and for my life experience and for my spiritual development. I came here to just bring information to people. So when this guidance came to me, I said, well, should I do a YouTube playlist? What should I do with them? You know, I thought it was very easy and simple, and I would just post it there and everyone could log in. But then all this technology information came, like build a website and do this page and join everyone. So not just the Pranic teacher, but everyone who contributed to the humanity evolution in some way. So the spiritual teachers and the scientists, the spiritual scientists who have brought new discoveries in quantum physics and so on. And it all came like a huge project for my knowledge back then, like 3 weeks ago. But I got all this guidance and all this help from the higher intuitive nature that we all have, and then this is manifested now.
And you're the perfect one to do it, because I know you've been around our work for a long time, and you've been to many gatherings around the world. You've met with many people who are doing this. And as you said, it's important that somebody brings it all together, because I like to say to people, look, regarding this, it needs to be natural and organic. When it's a natural, organic call, it lasts for you. But many people are trying to push their bodies too fast because they want the gift of physical body nourishment. And it is a great gift. It's a wonderful freedom. But what we need to understand is that it's just about frequency. It's about zones. Every zone is there for us, and we've got to match into the zones of chi at the deeper levels, so that the chi is strong enough, or the pranic flow is strong enough to deliver everything that your body needs. And one of the biggest adjustments is also mindset. You know, we've been introducing this field of possibility, as we began to talk about before. Like, you know, you can be a vegetarian or vegan or whatever. You can eat meat if that's your calling, but we have to look at long-term resource sustainability as well, and a more harmonious existence with the resources of the planet, which is another reason this is coming out. But this is a natural byproduct of just stepping back to your true nature and going deeper to the purer levels where this is happening just naturally, and you're getting enough vitamins, minerals, proteins, carbohydrates, etc. And the body can really feed. But the body can't feed until the mind gets on board and goes, oh, well, maybe this is a possibility. Maybe this field is a field of potential. Maybe it's real. And as you said, when you meditate and you go into that path and you feel the power that's within you, you feel its love, you feel its wisdom, you feel its clarity, you sense the way it brings so much grace into your life. And as you've been receiving such clarity about what to do, you know, you've been listening and now you're doing it. And there's this whole new manifestation happening of you being able to put the Pranic Consciousness Summit on and interview so many people. And we need discernment. Everyone watching this, you need discernment. Feel with your heart. Feel what feels right. Do your research. Honor your intelligence. Treat your body as a temple and love it, and give it permission to feed in whatever way it works for it, provided end result is physical health, perfect health, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Don't push your body too hard. Hold the intention. It can feed from prana. You can feed from prana on any level, or physical food or emotional food in different ways, but just let it be natural and organic, and don't try to push yourself too hard, too fast, or you'll end up feeling like, I failed. Why can't I do this? And it's all there for us. It's a natural gift. And so I'd like to stop for a moment and say, thank you, Cristiana. We love you. We love you. Thank you for what you're doing. And I wish you all the blessings and all the success with your project.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for joining us and for your flexibility, because we've tried to manage with like 2 devices and we ended up with the iPhone, but it's beautiful still, because the information you're sharing is so much value. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. So I'm off to Thailand now, 27 days of darkness, yay, with beautiful people. And that's all we're going to do, is go back to true yogic nature, and hook for a while from the external world, tune into the pranic rhythms, and come out better versions of ourselves again, as we always do. Okay, darling, you take care.
Take care, and you have a beautiful journey with your next dark room. Okay, so
bye everyone who's been
thanks
listening.
everyone.
Bye everyone.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Ciao.